So LG Ad Solutions differentiates itself, especially at CES, with its three verticals of assets. In the first bucket, we have connected TV, where we have our huge bucket of owned and operated connected TV inventory from LG channels, our FAST system, as well as our inventory partners. And then we have secondly, our native home screen. So a lot of the stuff we'll talk about at CES is the interactivity between the home screen and other parts of the viewer journey. And that third component, that third asset, is the data that ties it together. So part of that is ACR, part of that is performance data between linear TV and connected TV, and mobile video and online video. So really the connect effect of combining multiple CTV type assets to drive accelerating growth for your brand. I think that's going to be a big focus this year at CES and beyond.
Right. And speaking of data, how will it impact consumers?
Data is going to impact consumers and businesses in 2025. From a B2B perspective, how businesses are going to be thinking about data, it's evolutions in the world of targeting. How do you apply data to more accurately and efficiently measure? How do you optimize? So data is being used at scale and accelerated in that world. But then from a consumer perspective, right? LG Ad Solutions is the front door for 165 million consumers across the world. So we use that data for personalization to grow and make that experience more effective, and to provide value. So one of the things that we've seen is the time from of selecting the time between selecting turning on your TV and selecting your first piece of content is as high as 11 minutes and 45 seconds today on average. So that's an opportunity for us as the owners of the home screen to make that more effective and efficient to get you as a consumer where you need to go and bring that 11 minutes down. That's a KPI that we're looking at to use data to drive.
What do you think some of the big trends we'll be seeing in 2025?
Some of the big trends in 2025 that I think we're going to hear a lot about at CES. First is the intersection of retail media and CTV. We see real critical mass in the world of retail media and unique demand needing specific data and measurement connectivity points to scale their business outside of their gardens. Now the CTV and OEM worlds are ready to take on that challenge. So you're going to see this intersection of those two, of folks with unique demand trying to expand it beyond their walls, as a big point of discussion. That's I think a big, I would say the number one tactical thing we're going to hear about is the intersection of those two. The other thing we're going to talk about is kind of the personalization and the content and home screen flywheel. So we're going to think about how do we take this increased investment that we're getting from our advertising partners and turn around and invest that back into the business, one, to make the experience better, but two, to make the content available better, and more attractive to consumers. So it's cool to see businesses like ours start seeing those as, LG channels as its own flywheel and a big, significant driver of the business today. The last trend that I'm really excited about is interactivity. So one of the frontiers that I think is going to be blown open in the next 12 months is how consumers interact with the remote and how the advertising ecosystem is able to capitalize on that. So there's components of interactivity from a choose your own adventure ad style. There's measurement capabilities where you can get much more precise with your measurement when you're actually doing it on the screen. So how consumers are interacting with the remote and integrating that into the ad experience is going to be another big frontier we'll hear a lot about.
What's next for LG Ad Solutions? Anything you could share?
So I mentioned a little bit before, but what's next for LG Ad Solutions is continued investment in these businesses that have created their own flywheel. So let's look at something like LG Channels, which a few years ago was just a twinkle in the eye of somebody at LG Electronics and has now boomed to become the number one app on LG TVs. So with that consumption and those following ad dollars comes further investment and making that more of a utility this year with that money and that data that we talked about earlier. So for us, it's reinvesting in the flywheels that are working fast, and that ecosystem is number one. Um, Other things we're thinking about are what does a best-in-class local product look like? What can we do from a data and measurement perspective to help our clients reach their consumers at a more local basis? Requires a ton of investment and investigation on our side, but something that's worthwhile. I think the OEMs have a very unique position, and this is the year that we'll see the OEMs take a larger position in the local market. And then just further investment in what I call post-privacy infrastructure. So maybe it was stuff we were doing a year ago or 2 years ago, but is the way we're going to do it this year cleaner, safer, and lower risk for our partners? That's a constant push for us. And clean rooms and advancements in data sharing are yielding us that direction, and so far it's been very positive.
Okay, so you're a CES veteran. What are some pro tips you could share with a first timer?
Okay, I've got some CES pro tips for you if you're a first timer. Number one, schedule it or it doesn't happen. So don't show up and show up at the bar and say, I'm going to make friends and let serendipity happen. You're never going to get invited back. Your boss is going to see you had 4 meetings. You're never going to go again. So schedule ahead of time. I'm booked 2 months out, and I imagine folks are similarly. So make sure you're booked. My number two piece of advice is get a lot of sleep. Like you can be out partying till 4 and 5 a.m., but CEOs are closing deals at 9 a.m. So you got to be there if you want to be in the game. So don't stay out too late. My third piece of advice is do something like fun and shticky and Vegasy. So whether it's go to a show, do some fancy golf, go race some cars or something, do something that is very uniquely Vegas while you're out there and you're surrounded by friends in the industry.